This story was classified for 30 years. It almost destroyed the world without a single shot fired. Missiles were armed. Bombers took to the skies. The world stood seconds away from global nuclear war. All because of one U.S. military exercise, Operation Able Archer 83, and the CIA never saw it coming. The year is 1983. The Cold War isn't just political, it's personal. The US and Soviet Union are locked in an arms race so intense the world has enough nukes to destroy itself 20 times over. President Ronald Reagan is calling the USSR the evil empire. Soviet paranoia is peaking, and behind the Iron Curtain, Kremlin officials are convinced the Americans are preparing for a surprise first strike. Every year, NATO runs a military drill, but in November 1983, something changed. This time, the drill was too real. Codenamed Able Archer, it simulated everything: nuclear alerts, chain of command activation, and even mock launch sequences for nuclear missiles. To NATO, it was training. To the Soviets watching through satellites and spies, it looked exactly like the real thing, and that's where the CIA got it wrong. Back in Moscow, Soviet leaders activated Project Ryan, a top-secret KGB mission to detect signs of a nuclear sneak attack. They saw every NATO move: bombers fueled, missiles loaded, communications encrypted. It wasn't just suspicious. To the Soviets it was confirmation. They believed they were minutes away from total annihilation. For the first time in history, Soviet nuclear forces went on full combat alert during peacetime. Submarines vanished beneath the Arctic. Strategic bombers waited on the runway, armed. The world had reached the edge of oblivion. And then, nothing happened. The launch codes never came. No warheads fired, no retaliation orders issued. Why? Some historians believe a few key Soviet officers, cool-headed, disobedient, refused to escalate without absolute proof. They saw through the drill and held the line. They broke protocol and saved the world. You've probably never heard their names, but their restraint may have prevented the end of civilization. When the CIA finally realized what had happened, they were stunned. So was President Reagan. He was told in a top-level briefing that the United States had come within minutes of being vaporized because of a war game. Reagan wrote in his diary, "I don't see how they could believe that, but it's scary." The brush with Armageddon led to something rare during the Cold War: reform, dialogue, caution. It took 30 years for the documents to become public, and when they did, the world realized how close we came. Able Archer was almost the end of everything, and today, we're not immune. Missile alerts still glitch. AI misreads signals. Nations test limits daily. Now imagine a world where leaders don't show restraint, where war games are mistaken for war, where retaliation is automatic. That's the real threat. And we've seen it before, in 1983. A single military drill almost changed history. And the scariest part, we never even knew. How many other secrets like this are still buried? What do you think? Could something like Able Archer happen again in today's high-tech world? Comment your thoughts, like if you want more declassified stories. And subscribe before the next near miss becomes a headline.
Exercise reached the highest levels of government, with British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher and German Chancellor Helmut Kohl having roles in the nuclear exercise.